Our next story depicts an extraordinary moment that took place during the earthquake. An encounter between a little girl, her mother, and a vicious guard dog. Riona was a menacing Rottweiler, a guard dog at a home in Watsonville, California. Down the block lived Karen Cooper and her 5-year-old daughter, Vivian. Vivian suffered from epilepsy and required medication to control her seizures.
Honey, it's all right.
Karen had to keep Vivian away from anything that might excite her and trigger an epileptic seizure.
Come on, let's go have our picnic, all right?
Vivian and I would go for a walk, and the dogs would come out and bark, and they would scare her because they were large. And she would go, Vivian would get on the other side of me because Vivian was so afraid.
October 17th, 5:04 p.m.
It was like somebody picked the house up and was shaking it. And the first instinct that you have is get out of the house. And we had to run through the kitchen to get out.
Oh, God, come on. Get out back. Oh, God.
Karen had broken her ankle and couldn't move. She feared that in this crisis, Vivian would lapse into a seizure.
Please, Vivian!
On top of the refrigerator was a microwave oven, a very large microwave oven. I knew it was going to come down on Vivian, and I couldn't get to her, and she was screaming, panicked. There's nothing I could do, and I never felt so helpless in all my life to know that you couldn't get to your kid, and she's just a few feet away.
Karen and Vivian started to scream at their house. I couldn't hear anything with the earthquake going. Riona, she took off and she ran out her dog door around the house, and they jumped our fence that we have, and then run across the street and went in their house.
When I saw Riona coming in that back door, at first I thought, dear God, I've got to get something and help my baby. I didn't know what this dog was going to do.
Vivian stood petrified below the teetering microwave.
Vivian, it's all right.
Just then, in the nick of time, Riona knocked Vivian against the wall and out of harm's way.
First thing I could think of was, get to my child. I don't know what that dog's doing to her. Obviously, Riona and Vivian were frightened together, but they had their faces pushed into each other's, and they were very, very close, hugging. And I asked Riona, I said, may I have my baby back? And Riona looked at me, and she moved out of the way.
Come here, honey. She saw the microwave was gonna fall on me, and she zoomed to get me out of the way, and she zoomed to the corner and sat on my feet and pushed me up against the wall. She was the only one that I could depend to save my life.
She protected Vivian when I couldn't. So I think she knew. I think she could sense, that child needed her.
While no one knows for sure why Riona came to the rescue, there are scientific studies exploring the possibilities that some dogs have a sixth sense when an epileptic is about to have a seizure. Perhaps this was the case with Riona, a seemingly vicious animal who clearly demonstrated that appearances aren't always what they seem.